Okay. My throat feels fantastic, actually. So yeah, we're gonna be doing something different. You know, I think me liking ninjas isn't too obfuscatious. I'm pretty sure you can look on this channel for more than like 10 seconds, not any, like 5 seconds, and you'll be like, oh yeah, ninjas, ninjas everywhere. No, you know, I thought doing something might be different, or doing something different might be good, because sometimes different is good. You know, after playing Ninja Gaiden, I'm like, yeah, what else? And then this popped up on my feed, and I was like, hey, wait a minute, I haven't read this. I haven't read this novel, uh, The Butterfly and the Gale. It's about our boy Chip from Guilty Gear. You'll like him. I mean, I like him, so I don't really care. I'm really just kind of looking for stuff that I want to do, and then thinking like how to make it a stream. I think this right here is just right up my alley. You know, I was stuck for a while trying to decide which game, and I'm like, I can play GTA 4 or something, or GTA Vice City, since GTA 6 comes out in like 2 months. But then I'm like, 2 months, I'll finish those games way too quickly. So I'm just like trying to throw shit on the wall, see what sticks. But like I said, yeah, this popped up on my feed. Someone gave us the Dropbox for it, and I'm like, oh man, yeah, I wouldn't mind. Chip's always been that character that's like, you know, has always been like, well, I guess you can say like this about just fighting games in general, where you kind of utilize a character's strengths and weaknesses, and the ninja archetype has its own variances, like speedy run ups and, well, low health. Um, yeah, I've taken a 2 month break from Guilty Gear, so I'm like just trying to find like an in between, you know? Because I was gonna jump right back in, but then I'm like, you know what? There's nothing really going on. There's no new updates. Um, there's no new characters. I don't know. I've taken a little bit of a hiatus. I don't know when I'm gonna return. Probably during October, when like Grand Blue gets a big update, and then I'll just kind of get a fix for like fighting games in general by then. And then I'll probably get GTA 6 out of my. I don't know if I'm gonna buy GTA 6. Honestly, I'm on the fence of buying GTA 6. I have like DLCs for GTA 4 that I can play, and then I got Vice City that I can play, plus a bunch of other PS3 games that I re-downloaded because of fucking PlayStation closing down the shop. So, yeah. Getting back into fighting games would probably just require me relearning and adjusting through like system changes or whatever, like usual, like when normal updates happen. But yeah. Anyways, yeah, that's the plan for today. I'm gonna head over to the capture. No, here you go. Wait, let me get the monkey. There's that video. I got it somewhere on here. Is this guy? No, it's not. I'll delete this. I don't need this anymore. Bye bye. Did I have that on there? I guess I did. No, did I? No, I didn't. I had a border, basic border that I had. All right, let's get started. Don't look at my tabs. I don't know what I have on there, but yeah. Guilty Gear X. You know, that was actually my first Guilty Gear. I remember because I was like, I saw Johnny in Strive, and I was like, oh wait, I played this game before. And I was like knees deep into Strive by then, so I was like, oh wait a minute, yeah, And then I had to do my research because I was like, which game did I play? And it was like this one on, I think, Dreamcast? At the cousin's house? That was something else. Anyways, Guilty Gear, The Butterfly and Her Gale. Fan translation. Yeah, there's a fan translation. I think this is legitimately like pulled into a file and then like we have all these different people. These are the normal people. These are Daisuke and Kaiho? I didn't know the Arthur. Yeah, right here. If you guys want to look at them, they're the translators. I'm not. I actually have never looked at this this manga online. I haven't looked it up, but I'm pretty sure there's not an English translation. And I'm also pretty sure it's like $80. So I'm not gonna buy it. But yeah, thanks for Nincopy Jasp. Visual visual editions. Oh yeah. And Roz. Yeah, because it came from a manga. Yeah. Well, thank you, Nincopy. Special thanks to Mental Black 34 and Gear Project for facilitating and helping with the visual assets of this project. Warning, Guilty Gear is owned by Daisuke Ishiwatari and Arc Systems Works. Yeah, we know that. We know this. Here's the content. Here's the articles of context. Content. I'm sorry. Context. We'll go through most of them. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna make it to about because I only know like bits and pieces of it, and it's not super long. It's probably like 3 hours. So I'll probably like either break this in 2 halves and then just knock it out then, or just kill it today. I was reading before this, so I was like, gotta get my brain moving. But yeah. Prologue. Endless plains spread in full view. From the sky above, the scenery had a slight yellowish tint to them. As the landscape drifted away and the speed of wind, keen eye caught sight of a prey. Its glossy black wings fluttered and its arrow-shaped like body came to rest in midair. But only for a few seconds, for it quickly swooped down like a bullet and its beak caused its prey without missing. While gulping down the insect it had caught, the purple swallow looked towards the far horizon. There was a shadow that hasn't disappeared in 3 days. The shadow that was moving on 2 legs matched the shape of a human being that the swallow had in its memories. It had been an overstatement to say that the purple swallow felt any familiarity for the human figure. According to its behavior principles, humans can only be divided into 3 types. Humans in close proximity equals dangerous, may be pranked. Humans within the vicinity, desirable, keep hawks and owls away. Humans far away equals irrelevant, unimportant. The human at the end of the horizon falls into the last one. For that reason, the swallow ignored him most of the time. But who was that figure? And why was he heading its way? To begin with, how could he follow a swallow on foot? While it travels 300 kilometers a day, the bird never asked itself. Still, the strange human never left the purple swallow's mind. When recovering after passing through the swirling gates, or when the southern winds brought the scent of pollen, the birds would look back at such times and feel comfort at the sight of the human being. Chicken shit! That fucking bird! I'll catch you and then I'll grill you. The young man running across the plains looked up at the distant swallow and sneered. His pale white-haired bangs were stick to his forehead, and the heat of his whole body created a haze. Contrary to his legs, which moved in a unique rhythm, the man's upper body remained steady as he dashes. He was a curious-looking man. He dressed in what appeared to be an Oriental-style hakama and a wide-sleeved jacket, under which he wore a fancy chainmail. Editor's note, traditional Japanese loose trousers with many pleats. talking about a hakama. However, the man's appearance was definitely not Asian. Perhaps that's why he wore hand covers and worn out leather boots instead of gaiters. Teko, covering from the back of the hands and wrist. Oh, right, it's like the armor that samurai wear, I think. On his back, he carried a heavy-looking scabbard. Judging from the curvature, it was likely that the blade its side wasn't a sword, but a katana. The man's body was slender with no excessive muscle. From his plain skin and red eyes, it might look like he was sick. The name of this unbalanced man was Chip. Damn! I underestimated it. Chip wiped the sweat off his face as he recalled past days of deep pain. Asterix. I like the fact that they talked about his running stance, and I like the bird imagery we're getting early on with the swallow. Very interesting. Oh yeah, coming up, chapter 1. Not gonna say anything, but yeah. I will say this: it's a good story. It's a very good story. It does really kind of capture a lot of what like this character, you can tell Arc System just fucking loves, like what he brings to the table, you know. There's some like favoritude with this one, like with a couple of characters too. You can kind of tell they kind of like all of them. They love all of them. Like you can tell. But I don't know who else has a manga. I'd probably look that up later. But anyways, chapter 1: The Boy in the Wall. Memories upon memories came forth, and flashbacks flowed endlessly. Chip's reminiscence eventually led him back to the memories of a war. The war was called the Crusades. In retrospective, every war was a crusade for some and a vile ruse for others. But the reason why the whole human race specifically called it the Crusades was because their enemies were not humans. They were gears. Biological weapons created by mankind. The century-long war against the rebel gears had just ended only a few years ago. But it had taken decades for humankind to fully recover from the several years of warfare. The Human Year War had thoroughly damaged the budding magical civilization. Chip was born and grew up at the final stages of the Holy War around the time when mankind began to slowly recover from the constant battles against gears. Education was amongst the major setbacks the Great War caused. Even in a country which was considered advanced, the literacy rate was low and only a few could understand arithmetic and mathematics. It could also be said that the lack of viable insurance industries was a consequence of that. Probability statistics is the basic of insurance. By its concept, even the rarest risk was a reasonable probability of occurring in the long run. However, only a few understood what that meant. Most people preferred the quicker and more profitable betting game rather than buying insurance policies. Ironically, the only people who understood the coldness of statistics, besides a few elected officials and technicians, were the vagrants born of the war. Although it was called by different names, in the corner of the city where Chip grew up, this city was called the Wall of 16. Chip had no memories of his parents. He had been a war orphan who lived on the streets of A County since he could remember, but he had certain advantages amongst other vagrants. To begin with, he had no trouble stealing food thanks to his natural athletic skill. He never lost in a one-on-one fight and was quick to flee when attacked in group. The fact that he avoided malnutrition and gained a reasonable strong physique during his growing years was also a big advantage. However, that's all that could be said about him. He was smart, he was as smart as anyone else, and a little faster on his feet, but that was it. It was enough to slightly increase his average lifespan, but not enough to get him off the streets. In summary, the boy named Chip was just a plot on a statistical graph, and he knew that better than anyone. By the time he was 14, he was hired as a drug dealer due to his quick feet, but from there, as it's usual, it all went downhill. The dealer gradually became a junkie. Chip borrowed money, bilked, stole, begged to get his fix, until finally he put his hands on the goods he sold. Then the Wall of 16 came. That night in an alley filled with stench of vomit, Chip was running with spitting blood. The alley at night were terribly noisy. The snores of homeless sleeping on top of each other, the noise of drunks urinating in the distance, and the sound of his own bellows like rapid breathing. Even his footsteps echoed as if they were stepping on gravel while he ran on the abundant snow. But through all kinds of extraneous sounds resonated in his eardrums, his pursuer's footsteps were inaudible. His drugged eyes were of no use from the very start. At the edge of his vision, falling snowflakes glistened with rainbow colors and flowers bloomed. It's alright. Thanks to the map on his head and the echoes around, he could tell where he was, and he still could run. It seemed he had already bumped into a wall a few times before, but it never was a big deal for him. Since his body wasn't feeling pain, he couldn't distinguish the blood from sweat. But even in that state, only one thing kept holding on to Chip's mind. Faster. Run faster. At the very least, to leave a scratch on the wall. But then, the end came abruptly. Chip's overheated muscles finally stopped. His whole body rolled like a ball, drew a trail of blood on the snow. Crawling to his feet, he managed to lean back against the wall, but he could no longer run. From afar, the pursuer's footsteps slowly approached. Each step echoed on Chip's ear like a gong. In the face of an inescapable death, Chip exerted his last ounce of strength and leaned forward as if to fall forward the approaching footsteps. Then someone grabbed his right arm with an iron-like force. "You alive?" It was a deep male voice mixed with an Asian accent. A calm voice without tension or anger. While Chip listened to the voice, his visions returned little by little. Beyond the snow, an angular oriental face emerged. "Are you the Wall?" He had perhaps heard that the organization had a skilled assassin who used Oriental's techniques, but ultimately didn't make that much of a difference for getting rid of the drug dealer. "A wall? Perhaps so." As he spoke, the man exerted some force, and Chip's whole body lost its strength. Chip slumped to the ground helplessly. It was only then he noticed his right arm was stained with blood, but that didn't matter anymore. Slowly, Chip stared at this man's hand stuck to his throat. A wall? It was crazily big black wall. A wall that no matter how hard one slammed his fist on, it wouldn't budge a bit. Its gentle slope became steeper the further you went, and if you tried to climb it by force, your nails would peel off, leaving only a trail of blood behind. The base of the wall was painted bright red and several fingertips and scuff marks of 5 lines. The underpart, however, was pitch black and without any scratches. From the other side of the invincible wall, the sound of children's laughter, the smell of food, and warm air seeped through. But everyone was bound to die under the wall, leaving only red blood marks. Chip hated it. By no means he'd leave behind just a stain. So he'd run, he'd burn out his arms and legs. If the wall was impossible to climb anyway, he'd run it, he'd hit it with his whole body. He'd smash all blood, flesh, guts, and bones against it and make a bright red sign. With a crazy thought in his heart, Chip tried to kick the wall. However, his body would not move. Looking down, he saw his legs had already burnt out. With only black cinders left in their place, his arms had also already melted, and he could no longer even crawl. The wall looked down at Chip, the black, unshapable wall of 16, and then spoke out. "Have you woken up?" Slowly, Chips opened his eyes. The first thing that caught his eyes was a curly, pointy Kaysher mustache, and on top of that, mysterious, narrow eyes that were looking at him. He hadn't noticed it when he saw him in the alleyway, but that man had a scar on his left eye. Chip tried to get up with a kip up, but his legs buckled and he fell on his buttocks. The man with the mustache slightly ordered a bowl while Chip glared at him with fiery eyes. Ooh. I took a quick look at this. This is interesting. This is, I forgot his name. Subashi? No. Subaya? I forgot. It's he. If I'm predicting right, and if I can remember how, like, story beats go, or how the storyline goes, this guy's supposed to be the guy who teaches Nago and Chip. Even though that Nago thing is kind of, and then Chip. Even though that Nago thing is like not really apparent in this universe, but at least not yet. But yeah, this is some good ass art. Like, this is cool to see, especially with this guy. You can kind of see. I mean, honestly, you don't see Chip like in his younger years. It's pretty interesting, just because it's like you can just the darkened eyes, the tattered clothes. You know, he's not the same Chip as you get him in the game, where he's like kind of swagged out. Oh yeah, he's definitely Asian. That guy's cool though. Well, I'm pretty sure we'll get to read more about him in this one. Apparently, this was no prison. It looked like a cave, a natural one. The entrance was visible, so if he wanted to, he could escape at any time. That is, as long as he was able to move his legs. Having confirmed that much, Chip snatched the bowl from the man and quickly gulped down the mushy gruel in one go. Sorry, water. Okay, that was good. After all, he could no longer taste anything anyway. Is that because of the drugs, or I don't know. As he watched Chip greedily gulp down the gruel, the man slowly spoke to him. "A wall," you said. "Ah, you asked me if I was your wall? Don't you remember?" Chip thought for a moment and replied, "Hey, what a day is today." What a day is today. He's so happy. Hey, what day is today? It's the 10th of February. You've been sleeping for 3 days. Hearing that, Chip dropped down the bowl and sank to the ground. Sobbing noises came from his bowed head, but soon his voice turned into a crying laughter. The man waited patiently for him to calm down and asked, "What's wrong?" "I crossed it. I crossed the wall." Chip shouted without restraint and laughter once again. The man quietly picked up the bowl and wiped the mud with the hand towel. "Hey, I want to thank you, but who the hell are you?" Chip asked as if he ate his second bowl of as he ate his second bowl of gruel. "I've abandoned my family's name. My name is Tsuyoshi." "Are you Chinese?" "No," said the man with an offended tone. "Then Japanese, huh? So the rumors about the organization have a Japanese guy were true." Chip's eyes got sharp. "So why did you save me? Aren't you an assassin?" "Don't worry. Soon you'll think you'd better off been dead." The man's tone was soft, in contrast of his offhand words. Cliff glared at the man for a moment, but couldn't quite make out the expression of his oriental narrow eyes. Giving up, he looked away. It was pointless to doubt someone after eating the meal they just offered. "You still haven't told me about the wall yet." "Ah, it's a stupid superstition. Kids who live on the streets die before turn 16. That's the wall." Oh shit. That's fucking dark. Oh, okay. That's fucking crazy. That's what it's called? Oh, okay. Yeah, that's yeah, okay. Despite his words, Chip made a hand sign as if to ward off evil. The street environment was too harsh for street children to endure day by day, but there were ways to survive. The first thing was to form a gang and find a hideout. The young ones begged, and those who could sold themselves. Any way was to get into the mafia's load and become a criminal. Usually, most kicked the bucket early. Even the majority of those who reach 15 die within a year. It doesn't matter how strong you are. Malnutrition, stress, and violence. It was only natural that those with poor survival skills ended up weeded out. But the dangers of the streets were not limited to that. Anything could be a trigger. Even a minor scratch could be death threat if it became infected. It wasn't rare to die from a cold either. It was even possible to die from a stray arrow while walking down the street. No matter how tough or cunning one may be, you cannot escape chance. And when the time came to turn 16, accidents turned into inevitable deaths with frightening certainty. Chip knew this firsthand. Oh my god, they're gonna tell me it was his birthday today. Gene, Tony, McPherson, 2. Can you believe that even that bastard Tony died of food poisoning? Everyone, all of them hit the wall. Chip breathed heavily as he spoke like he was possessed. I see. The man who called himself Tsuyoshi stroked his beard. And how old are you? Chip gave an ironic smile. Ah! I was born on February 9th. I'm 16 now. Is that so? Ah! So, what you ask? Uncharacteristically, Chip stammered. His trembling hands were searching his pockets. Looking for this? Tsuyoshi took out a small leather bag and shook it. A rustling sound of powder could be heard. Give that back! Chip lunged at him, but Tsuyoshi mercilessly foot swept him. He swung a bag in front of the fallen Chip and then threw it out of the cave. Give it back! Without it! If you want it, go get it. Chip glared at Tsuyoshi with a dark look and hastily turned out of the cave, as if in a panic. Seeing his figure disappear, Tsuyoshi set the fire. After crawling through the mud for 2 hours, Chip finally found the leather bag in the bushes. Empty. Son of a bitch. From the beginning. The image of Tsuyoshi's mocking smile came into Chip's mind. The months that followed was a time where Chip truly felt like he had been better off dead. At every opportunity, Tsuyoshi would show Chip the drug in order to provoke him, and then he'd beat him up, as if feverishly try to snatch it from his hands over and over again. His craving for drugs burned him, and every day got worse and worse. At that night, he'd have nightmares about the wall. The black wall that he should have crossed already, was still standing before him. But his arms and feet remained motionless. After 3 consecutive days of getting beaten, Chip finally realized that it was impossible to beat Tsuyoshi with only his bare hands. He wasn't fond of using bladed weapons in street fights, but since a knife was a handy tool that can be used for everything, he carried one with him. The black-handled single-edged knife was originally designed to cut meat, but the sharp tip could also be used to stab. Chip couldn't afford hesitation. However, when he grabbed the knife inside of his pocket, a cold chill ran down his stomach. In the morning, while Tsuyoshi was out hunting, Chip attempted to attack him from behind. But before he could raise the knife, a fistful of sand hit Chip's face. In that instant, his wrist was grabbed from the front, and the knife was snatched away. This is it. I'm finished. He didn't believe Tsuyoshi would let him live after pointing a weapon first. Or perhaps, was he hoping to die all along? As his eyes closed, Chip could faintly see the black wall. But the next second, stars began flying in his vision. As he slowly fell to the ground, Chip realized that Tsuyoshi's iron fist had burnt into his face. Don't rush to your death, old man, or young man. Oops. Don't rush to your death, young man. Tsuyoshi's voice had a certain kindness that deeply irritated Chip. I'd rather be dead, so kill me. Seeing Chip stand up with trembling legs, Tsuyoshi stroked his beard. Very well. Tsuyoshi slowly approached Chip, who could barely stand, and holding out his right hand as if to encourage him, he delivered a powerful blow to his body. You're careless. Then one blow to his cheek, and also last judgment, and another to the chin. Don't stand up. Just lose. As Tsuyoshi spoke those last words, Chip collapsed, unable to move, but this time, when he closed his eyes, he no longer saw the wall. From that day on, Chip's trial began. He tried various methods to attack Tsuyoshi's exposed back. He threw sand, grabbed stones, shaved branches to make spears. He laid out traps in his hunting grounds, attacked him while he slept, and even tried to catch him off guard by feigning sickness. Tsuyoshi crouched each and every one of those attempts, and beat Chip time and time again. However, he never reapproached Chip, and calmly continued to take care of him. Unbeknownst to Chip, his stress was withdrawal, gradually turned into anger towards Tsuyoshi. But before he knew it, his goals of getting back his drugs were replaced at some point with the goal of outwitting Tsuyoshi. Several times he had bouts of high fever from which he'd recover, but even after he regained his strength and was able to move again, the idea of going down the mountain never crossed Chip's mind. While it transpired, the snow eventually melted and new sprouts began to grow outside the cave. Chip was running through the woods, feeling the spring breeze. He was now a man that went into trouble. His body reacted first. There was no point for him in trying any more new tricks. He had completely run out of ideas. There was no other way to put it. Tsuyoshi had always been one step ahead of him, and as he could read his mind, if things continued like that, he would not be able to deal a blow at him ever. Chip submerged himself in thought and hopped over a thorny bush with ease. After living there for a month, he began to understand the forest a little better. If I try to aim at him, he avoids it. If I try to hit him, he knocks me down. Chip thought out loud. A thrush that had been watching him flew away in the surprise. What should I do? As he spoke, Chip kicked a large oak tree that was just in front of him. With all his mights, remnants of dead leaves fell down simultaneously. A forepunch and high kick followed. Then, changing foot position, a backward hand, and an elbow strike. Blow by blow, Chip began to crush every dry leaf. Just as he was about to connect a roundhouse kick, after another elbow strike, Chip pulled his leg back, reached out his hand behind the dead leaves, fell on his palms, was a little squirrel with a fluffy tail. Oh, okay. It seems to have been knocked out by the impact of one of the kicks to the trunks and fallen along the dry leaves. Whoa, that was close. Okay. I really like that. Wow. You know, from him kicking the wall, like right before he gets taken in by Tsuyoshi and he passes out in the snow, him kicking the wall kind of reminds me of like his wall run in game. I mean, that's what popped up into my head. That's where it was like they were talking about, oh, he kicked the wall and then his legs wouldn't move. And I'm like, wait, he is just basically kicking the wall, like running up it. I don't know. I like that part a lot. Tsuyoshi is pretty legendary. All this little stuff, taking away his fucking drugs. Don't do drugs, kids. Don't fucking do crack. All right, don't do crack. If we learn anything from Chip, don't do crack. And then this part is fucking cool. I remember the quote where it's like, "Oh, you can learn a lot from squirrels," and this is where it's from. He found his palm was a little squirrel with a fluffy tail. That's where that comes from. He didn't care about the life of a squirrel, but he was not willing to kick one without knowing. Wait, is that it? The squirrel let out a shriek as Chip unconsciously clenched his fist. The animal wiggled frantically and bit one of his fingers. Ouch! Slipping out of his open hand, the squirrel ran deep into the woods. The wound it left on Chip's finger was unexpectedly deep. Oh, just you wait, Chip muttered as he licked his finger. Chip wasn't good at waiting. He'd rather rush things than do nothing. But this time he had no choice. The only way to beat Tsuyoshi was at the bottom of a valley. Chip waited impatiently while paying attention to the direction of the wind. When Tsuyoshi finally came walking from around the corner, Chip called out to him without thinking. "You're late!" Tsuyoshi set down the prey on his back and slowly approached Chip. "What will it be this time?" Chip closed the distance with a single leap and stamped his foot onto the ground in a manner similar to Shinkyaku stomp. Soon the fallen leaves danced and covered each other's figure. Also called Fuminari. It's a type of stomp that uses various Chinese and Japanese martial arts. Interesting. A look of pity appeared on Tsuyoshi's face. Even though Chip had tried numerous times to blind his eyes, all his strategies had ended in failure. Tsuyoshi could sense Chip's bloodlust even with his eyes closed. He could tell from where Chip would attack. But at that moment, a hand chop grazed Tsuyoshi's face. Surprised! Tsuyoshi tried to find Chip's presence, but there was no bloodlust in him, and his intent was vague and unreadable. Next, the second strike grazed his side. Tsuyoshi stroked his beard with a dour look on his face. And this evening, the winds blowing down the mountain and the winds from the sea met and collided right in that valley. Oh, we got another manga page. I did not know he had a bunch of like, I guess the leaf orientation makes sense. I don't know why. I always associate him with like the color green. The leaves that Chip had flung up whirled in the air non-stop. His attacks were aimed at those dead leaves. No matter how much Tsuyoshi tried, he couldn't read his fists. There was no bloodlust in Chip, and the direction of his blows changed in innumerable ways, following the flow of the wind and the leaves. The look of surprise on Tsuyoshi's face was proof of that. The rest, well, was just a matter of probability and statistics. As the fifth leaf he had hit crumbled, Chip's fist caught Tsuyoshi's chin. Tsuyoshi fell down. "Suck on that, you bastard!" But although he said that, Chip did not approach him. Instead, he kept himself out of his arm's reach and slowly went around Tsuyoshi. "You passed!" With those words, Tsuyoshi jumped up. He brushed the dirt off his clothes and turned to Chip. "You showed me an attack that embodies the stake of Sokuten Kiyoshi. What do you say? Would you like to entrust your body to me?" Chip held his head up high without lowering his guard. Sokuten Kiyoshi, doctrine of state of mind attributed to the writer Natsui Soseki. It means a self-detachment and pursuit of heaven. To abandon individual and return to nature, or suspend the ego and become one of the world. The concept has also been in relation with Buddhism. I don't like it. What? I passed, you say? Don't fucking test people without their permission. So you like it? Then what will you do? So don't you like it? Yeah, typo. Crazy. Interesting. First time, Tsuyoshi took a stance. As if to gauge the distance, Tsuyoshi wildly extended the left half of his body forward and drew his sight hand behind him. Oh. Oh, it's Chip's stance. Interesting. Oh. Chip had never seen that stance before and could not even imagine what could possibly come out of it. Promise. Promise me you'll never try that again without my permission, if you can. What? I'll call you Master, said Chip with a sour face. Not Master. Tsuyoshi raised one brow. Huh? In Japanese, we say Shisho. Oh. The two looked at each other and laughed, and so Chip training began. That's a really good part. I'm really digging this. I'm actually flying through this too. I didn't expect this to be so short. Should I try and do something after this? I'll figure something out. Listen, Chip. You overcame my trial by using the leaves and the wind to your advantage. Knowing that was the first lesson. Yeah, that's great and all, but where are you going with this, Shisho? The next morning, Tsuyoshi headed deeper and deeper into the mountains with Chip in row. Now that Chip thought about it, he hadn't seen a single soul beside his master since he's come to the mountains. When in the forest, use the way of the woods in your favor. And in the city, use the way of the streets as yours as well. If you can do that, you'll be able to defeat even any army, even one of 10,000. The bushes began to become bigger and bigger, but Tsuyoshi pushed his way deeper and deeper without much difficulty. Chip followed behind him, was drenched in sweat. Do you understand? Not one bit. Chip answered was clear and simple. Thoughts up. Are you mocking me? Not at all. Some obtain enlightenment by formulating words, others do not. You will attain nirvana by moving your body, so you'll have to keep running as long as you can. Sheesh, are you saying I'm stupid? Indeed. But there are ways for a fool to be a fool. That's what I'm going to teach you from now on. Well, thanks for that much. Chip's eyes shot a threatening look, but nothing else. Now hold on, do you know what this forest looked like 100 years ago? Don't know, not much different from now, I guess. Tsuyoshi stopped and turned around. He was holding... Cat came in. What's up? What's up, Cat? Where are you? Okay. Cat's gonna stay right there. Where was I? You're too thoughtless of a man. Hey, wait a minute. Faster than Chip could back away, the white blade flashed and a large tree nearby fell with a thud. Come, get over here and count them. Kiyoshi pointed at the stump. Chip counted with the fingers of both hands the number of annual rings, which came out to be 92. So what did you find out? The tree is one of the thickest in the forest. If it's about 90 years old, then does that mean this forest formed over the span of 100 years or so? That's right. This forest was destroyed once 100 years ago. Sorry, Mama Cat wanted to play with her kitten, and I was like, no, not in here. A cat chews up my cables. Can't let him get all rowdy in here. Take a dump in the corner or something. I don't know. Whatever. Where was I? So what did you find out? The tree is one of the thickest in the forest. If it's about 90 years old, then does that mean this forest formed over the span of 100 years ago? That's about right. This forest was destroyed once 100 years ago. Although he didn't say it out loud, Chip had blatantly had a blatantly, so what, written all over his face. If the forest caught fire, what happened to those who lived here? Huh? A memory from when he was 8 came to Chip's mind. When he was 8 years old, a fire broke out in one of the slums. How did it happen? How did it start? He did not know. Even though people said it was due to mishandling of a bonfire, Chip believed otherwise. The slowest one would just burn or whatever, right? The fire of the time consumed the homeless roosts made of rags and scrap wood in one fell swoop. The city's posh people were in no rush to come. No efforts were made to extinguish the fires, and when it finally died out, the fire had completely burned to the slum. In that fire, Chip had lost his big bro Gene, and was left alone again. Gene was 15 when he was engulfed by the flames. Aniki. No. After that. Chip frowned. The month after the fire was one of the moments in Chip's life that he least wanted to remember. The roost of food and supplies were burned to the ground, and refugees moved into the remaining unburned areas. The scramble for food and shelter heated up by the day, and with the dissolution of many groups and gangs due to the fire, stalemated maps of power returned to the blank slate. During that period, far more blood than usual was spilled until a new peace was reached. They scrambled for food and shelter. Only the strong would survive. Correct. That's what happened to this forest. The harsh competition for survival intensified, and has remained like that to this day. Only the species that survived for 100 years are still here. I'm starting to get the picture. Fighting with them is gonna be my training, right? Correct. The creatures of the forest will be your teacher. Now follow me. Tsuyoshi went deeper and deeper into the forest, followed by a very determined Chip. So what am I gonna fight? A bear? There's no such thing here. Then a lion? Fool. Then a gear? At the end of the Crusades, the majority of gears have ceased to function. However, rumors of the existence of living and still operational gears persisted. Stop talking. Saying that, Tsuyoshi approached the tree behind him, and with his arms crossed, he walked vertically up the trunk with long strides. Chip spat into his hands and followed after, and he poked his head out of the treetop. Tsuyoshi was already far ahead. His figure was hopping from branch to branch and tree to tree, growing smaller and smaller as it moved away. Too slow, said a voice that sounded in the wind. Shit, wait up, damn it. Trying to imitate him, Chip started to hop as well, but a dead branch snapped under his foot. Fortunately, he was able to reach and grab a secure branch with his right hand, otherwise he would have fell all the way down. That was close. He had no choice but to proceed cautiously, step by step. It took about an hour before he finally caught up with his master. Tsuyoshi was standing at the top of the tree stump with his hands folded. With his arms folded. There was no beast to be found around. What on earth was he going to fight up in the tree anyways? A hawk? This is far enough. As Chip was about to ask where his prey was, Tsuyoshi raised his hand and signalized him to stop. Then after checking the direction of the wind with his wet finger, he plopped down to the ground. Hey, Shisho! She hastily also got down the tree. What the hell was that all about? This is it. There was a squirrel in Tsuyoshi's outstretched hand. The animal squirmed violently, but it could not shake loose as Tsuyoshi held it by the neck. Huh? This will be your master. Immediately, Chip silently sprang at him and threw a jab, but Tsuyoshi parried it with one hand, and then without pause he slammed Chip's neck with a hand chop, making his eyes go round and round. For starters, listen to what your Shishu says until the end. Understood? Tsuyoshi said to Chip, who writhed in pain. Do you remember what I said before? That only the strong survive in this forest, right? Chip responded, breathing heavily. Now I ask you, what does strong mean? Someone who can fight? A man who excels in combat can die from poison. Is that strong? If he dies, then he's a loser. Chip replied straight away. We'll all die one day. Someday. Does that mean we'll all be losers? Yes. That's not what I'm saying. Like, before you die, you just gotta do something. Chip's response was not very clear. That's right. In other words, to be strong is to have the capacity to go your own way. You see, strength is not power, and neither skill nor wisdom. Power succumbs to great power. Skill fades away. And he who depends on wisdom perishes because of it. Know the feast. Then what's the deal with the squirrel? Chip, not getting what his master was saying, pointed at the animal. There was a small ring on his right leg. The way of the beast is to subsist and produce offspring. Given that, this squirrel is a strong being who has won the battle for hundreds of millions of years. Squirrel strong. My foot. I caught one not long ago. You think all squirrels are the same? You fool. Saying that, Tsuyoshi opened his right hand, then released the squirrel like an arrow through the grass and quickly disappeared into the trees. Wait a minute, you want me to look for the squirrel with the ring? Yes, you better be careful. It's strong. Furrowing his brow, Chip looked up. A small tree in front of him now seemed much larger and wider than it first appeared. The squirrel was certainly strong, but at the end he was able to catch it. His next prey, though, a mole, took him some ingenuity to catch, but when he was told to catch a crow, his eyes darkened. But still, it was better than the beetle that came after. Each time he caught a prey, Chip gained a new power. He learned that a squirrel's territory covers a 2-kilometer radius, and also how to find its tracks on the leaves. He could also estimate the number of moles by the taste of the soil, distinguish crows by their caws, and recognized beetles by their face. With each and every hunt, Tsuyoshi imparted his skill to Chip. No matter what challenge he was presented with, Chip never complained, and he could forget about the wall while chasing his prey. In this manner, Chip inherited Tsuyoshi's techniques. One might say that this was the happiest time of his life. But naturally, it wasn't meant to last. Commentary. Commentary? When's commentary coming in? What the hell? Is that the end? No fucking way. Double check this shit. I guess that's it. Holy shit. Alright, let's check what else is here then. That was fun. I dig the whole sensei thing in the forest. Tsuyoshi's a fucking goated character. All this little like talk about the different skills that those guys his prey had that Chip had to fucking hunt. That was. This is. I don't know. I get why people get really hyped about Chip. Like, but like reading that, I'm like, okay, there's a whole nother layer that I'm like, because I mean, this was like, I think Dropbox, so like someone put on their, downloaded it, did the whole project to translate it, and I am wondering if that Chip manga was actually like officially translated. which I'm not too sure. Maybe I'll start reading this the commentary at some point. Right now, I just want to check this out real quick. What kind of bird was it? It was the butterfly. What the fuck? Why is it the butterfly? I now wonder because of after finishing this, if there's another one. Because this thing said it was gonna be 3 hours to fucking read, and I was like, "Why fucking for reals?" Yep, this motherfucker's $80. Let me see. Is this? I don't think it's translated either. Yeah, $80. That's a fucking monster. Even if I wanted this, $80. That's fucking crazy. Oh, there's no pictures other than that. Let me see. Is this translated? I guess it's not translated because yeah, the artwork's different from the actual cover art. It's the same thing over here, but um, I'm probably just gonna skim this. Okay. Yeah, he's talking about having creative, like creative freedom. Talking about how he didn't want to unfold a story through video games, and yeah, it's Daisuke. Yeah, good old Daisuke. He talks about how unfurling the story in this way is really important for the reader. So I mean, I'll maybe drop a link for this after. I'll put it in this. I'll put it in the description below if you guys want to read this for yourself. But yeah, I'm really enjoying this. What else is to say? Early on, I was making my first game. It was adapted to other media. I would have said I only commission it to people who can produce superior work. Yeesh. Yeah, see, that's a fond of. The true charm of the game was often lost. Oh, there is another novel. Light the agent. Lightning the agent. The Argent. That has to be a fucking Kai one. Mr. Kisuke was first proposed, and I had the opportunity to meet the writer, Mr. Kihaho. Kihaho. And in the planning stage of the plot, I felt a happy surge of confidence that it was going to be good work. That is because there is undeniably an entertainment factor in there. In my opinion, entertainment is simply a work that provides emotions, smiles, and excitement. In the past, there have been excellent works in other media. They're based on games, and I'm pretty sure that they had that entertainment that even though non-fans could enjoy as a standalone work. Wait, I didn't read that right. That even non-fans could enjoy as a standalone work, and that was based on a solid understanding of the backbone of the game. Okay, okay. Personally, always one of my things. Yeah, they do a really good. They do a really good part in doing that. In Keiho's work, one can truly appreciate his unique ability to capture a character's personality globally and sublimate their thematic themes into a deep drama. Yeah, that's probably the best way I would put this. It's just kind of, I don't know. It's like I said in the beginning. It's like I wanted to put my teeth into the culture. This is definitely ninja culture. This is like young up and comer ninja who lives in like a fucking detrimental place, and then like he has to learn the work of fucking like assassination and what other things ninja do, like messaging stuff like that. It doesn't. I don't. I don't think it goes into. Yeah, it doesn't go into it. But Chip might have learned how to become a ninja, but he eventually gets Batman coded and decides not to kill. So it's like, and he has good reasons to. I mean, you can from the last line, one might say that this is the happiest time of his life, but naturally, it wasn't meant to last. I don't know if I could talk about it if there's gonna be any other videos like this, but yeah, Chip's story doesn't end here. This is a nice little like melodrama in between like everything, and it really does show like the early stages of his life, but you don't really get his early. You don't get like the actual beginning of Chip until probably you don't get like the good shit after this. You know what I mean? Like here, it's like standard Chip being like, oh, Chip, the loudmouth ninja who is kind of annoying, who pretends to be Japanese, but then you find out it's because yeah, his teacher was Japanese and he just kind of like fell in love with the culture. It's such a fucking. He's such a really endearing character. Like he really is. Like sometimes I'm like, you know, people can like be loyal to a place that they never been to, but it's like their loyalty kind of either reflects it or it kind of like diminishes other like attachments that you might have with like other cultures, you know? You become obsessive with it instead of actually like say like garnishing like the positivities of that culture to its fullest. It's interesting. Chip's very Chip doesn't do anything terrible. I'll say that much. He actually doesn't do anything particularly bad. He might like fuck up, I think, and like that's rare because he's like not like he's acting dorky, but like actually I really can't remember a point where he really fucks up. In fact, they really kind of like showboat how generally useful Chip is, and like how eventually he becomes a president, and like literally like is generally looking out for his country. You know, I think I, I, I would have to wonder if Wall 16 is actually like an American thing because this is a Japanese game, but they blew up Japan in stories. So I'm thinking like I'm pretty sure Chip's American. I'm not sure from where. Could be a fiction. Well, it is fictional. Wall 16 isn't actually a thing, but I, I, I don't know. Super cool character. He's one of those characters that I would be like, if you like ninjas, this is definitely a ninja. The ninja. He's fucking him. He's one of them. You know. Um, this was fun. I got through with that in an hour. It was supposed to be 3 hours, and it said 6 for slow readers. So I'm guessing there's another section of this somewhere, but I'm gonna have to look it up. I I want to look it up, and I'm going to because I really like the follow up to this part of his life, Chip's life. Um, but yeah, I think that's gonna be it for me. I think I'm getting out of here if I have to. Yes, sirree. Nope, we're not starting soon. Hmm. You know, I might just end it here. I was thinking, well, I don't know. There's always other things to talk about, right? Fuck. I don't know what my next stream is gonna be, dog. I think I'm just gonna play some Black Ops again since I played that back in the day. And yeah, that'll be fun. Just kind of like just to kind of see it. Besides that, what else am I doing? Um, it's a fucking good ass question. I don't know. I really don't have an update. I was supposed to get a tooth taken out. That's why I kind of, because like one of my teeth shifted and it was like in a bad position, so I was gonna take it out. But now I gotta, or I already kind of fixed my stuff with my insurance. That's why I took a long ass break from my last fucking Ninja Gaiden stream. Also, I was just, I don't know. I would have made a decision to play a game earlier, but then I wouldn't have fucking been able to experience this. Oh, this is only chapter 1. I need to check out the other chapters. Let's see. Let's double check that real quick. See if I can get, because this doesn't take long to download. I just gotta know if this is actually. I'm gonna have to change the title soon. But yeah, if I can find this, I'll probably just end and yeah, it's not easily findable. Let me see. Hmm. No, I can't find it. Yeah, this is kind of fucking hard to find. Um, well, I'll keep looking. Like I said, there's another part to this, so I'm like, I would be really excited, and I'm guessing I'm gonna have to find it. But yeah, I'll end it there. I'll end it there. That's gonna be it for me. I'm gonna do some other shit. This was fun though. This was fun. I might have to like edit this so I can just get the whole story in one compact form package, you know? And I'll post it on my other channel and then it'll be the yeah. I do appreciate you people coming by. Um Getting a few heads coming in here, you know. I think that's cool. There's always that one random like the one viewer, right? It's fun. It's interesting. It's interesting how often I can, I don't know, do something I like and just feel comfortable doing it online. It's just like, goddamn. Sometimes you just don't really, you're not, how do I put this? You don't fuck with people's shit. You know what I mean? Like, they're doing their thing and you're like, I don't fuck with it. It's not, it's like 50-50. You know what I mean? They're like, try new things. And then you try a new thing, you're like, it's pretty good. And then you go back to your old thing. Or like, you've been on your old thing for so long that it's like starting to fucking break you down mentally, and it's just like, okay, that's enough. Let's try something new, something that's viable. I think that's what I needed. I think this is what that was. It's very much just that being kind of I don't know. I went from Guilty Gear to playing this, or playing Ninja Gaiden, and now this. So I'm like, I don't know. Maybe I'm slowing down for like I'm on the back heel of shit, or whatever. Hopefully I'll ramp it back up. I'm definitely thinking about playing fucking Guilty Gear while there's another character that comes back. And then Grand Blue. Oh yeah, and then Tokon. I thought about Tokon and I was like, that would be cool to fucking just start up on. And then Deadpool's there, so I mean I have at least like 3 characters that I can think of off the top of my head that would be like, yeah, that'd be fun. They're just really banking on that Marvel money, and I'm like, that's good. You know, I've always been like, if it's good, it's good. If you fucking, I don't know. If people like it, then that's that. You know, just boring shit. I think I was saying I was gonna get out of here. Still might. Still might. I need to figure out like a. I don't know. A just talking screen. Well, not just talking screen, but like something. I'm gonna put in the background. I wonder if Ninja Guy. Whatever. I'll look into that too. Just a bunch of random shit that I'm thinking about. But yeah. Also getting back into drawing feels really good. I'm glad, honestly. It's a slow month for like work. How do I put this? I'm just like fucking work all the damn time. Not all the damn time, but it's just sometimes I get caught off guard having this like mandated amount of time where you can like just chill throughout the year and like refill your batteries for like the season, you know? But this is good. This is good. It's always gonna be good. Okay. Anyways. Later. Later.
Coming up only to hold you under, and coming up only to show you wrong, and to know you is hard, and we wander. To know you all wrong, we walk. downfall and coming up only to show you wrong. The outside, when the deadly, they are the line. For them die, had trees to hang them upon. Every occasion I'll be ready for the funeral. Every occasion once more is called the funeral. Every occasion I'm ready for the funeral. Every occasion a billion times funeral.
Discover new music at listener-powered